The Isdal Woman, Europe's most mysterious death. November 29, 1970, Bergen, Norway. Two professors are hiking through Isdalen Valley, a remote, desolate area the locals call Death Valley because of its eerie atmosphere. At 1 p.m., one of them spots something strange in a rocky clearing. At first, he thinks it's a mannequin. As they get closer, the smell hits them. It's a body. But this isn't just any body. This is a woman, burned almost beyond recognition. Her face is gone. Her fingerprints are burned away. The labels have been cut from all her clothes. Even her teeth have been partially destroyed, making dental identification nearly impossible. Near her body, they find sleeping pills, a bottle of liquor, and a partially melted passport. But when police trace the passport, they discover something chilling. The name on it doesn't exist. The address is fake. Everything about this woman's identity is a lie. And it gets stranger. Over the next few weeks, investigators discover she had been traveling across Europe using 9 different identities, 9 fake passports, 9 fake names, 9 elaborate cover stories. Who was she? Why did she need so many identities? And how did she end up dead in a Norwegian valley with every trace of her real identity carefully erased? This is the story of the Isdal Woman, one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries in European history. And 54 years later, we still don't know her real name. Chapter 1: The Discovery. Let me paint you a picture of what police found that day in November 1970. The body. The woman was lying in a remote hiking area, face down on rocks. Her body was severely burned, particularly her face, chest, and neck. The fire had been so intense that it melted the flesh from her face and hands, destroying any chance of visual or fingerprint identification. She was found in what's called a pugilistic position, a boxer's stance that bodies assume when exposed to extreme heat. Her arms were bent at the elbows, fists clenched. But here's what was strange. The fire damage was localized. The surrounding area showed minimal burning. The rocks beneath her body were scorched, but there was no evidence of a large fire. No accelerants were found on the scene. How do you burn a body that intensely without leaving evidence of a major fire? The evidence. Near the body, investigators found a hiking jacket, completely destroyed by fire. The remains of some jewelry, cheap costume pieces, empty bottles of sleeping pills, phenomel, a powerful barbiturate, a partially melted plastic bottle that had contained liquor, 2 plastic water bottles, an aluminum spoon, partially melted. About 100 meters away, hidden in rocks, they found more items. An expensive, elegant hiking coat, no labels. A watch, expensive Swiss make, but with identifying marks filed off. A nylon stocking, multiple pieces of clothing. Every single label had been carefully cut out. And finally, partially burned, they found a passport. The passport identified her as Elizabeth Leenwauer from Belgium. The photo showed an attractive woman with dark hair, probably in her 30s. Police immediately began investigating. They contacted Belgian authorities. They traced the address on the passport. The result? The address didn't exist. The name was fake. The passport itself was real, genuine government issued, but all the information in it was false. Who gets real passports with fake identities? Spies, intelligence operatives, people with something serious to hide. The Isdal Woman investigation had just become an international mystery. Chapter 2: The 9 Identities. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered something extraordinary. The Isdal Woman hadn't just used one fake identity, she had 9. Let me walk you through her trail across Europe in the months before her death. March 1970. The trail begins. A woman calling herself Fenella Lork checked into hotels in Bergen, Norway. She spoke German with what staff described as a peculiar accent. She was attractive, well-dressed, and carried expensive luggage. She asked the hotel staff strange questions about local hiking trails, specifically about remote areas. She seemed particularly interested in Isdalen Valley. April-May 1970. Multiple cities. The same woman, using different names, appeared in hotel records across Europe. Claudia Chelt in Paris, Vera Schlosseneck in Geneva, Alexia Zarna Narichez in Oslo, Claudia Nilsson in Bergen. Each time she paid in cash. Each time she gave fake addresses. Each time she stayed only a few days before disappearing. Hotel staff later reported strange behaviors. She changed rooms frequently, often multiple times during a single stay. She insisted on rooms with a view of the entrance. She rarely left her room during the day, venturing out only at night. She received no phone calls, no visitors, no mail. She spoke multiple languages fluently: German, French, Dutch, English, and Flemish. The suitcase discovery. A week after finding the body, police got a break. The Bergen railway station contacted them about abandoned luggage. In a storage locker, they found 2 suitcases belonging to the Isdal Woman. Inside, investigators found more clothing, every label cut out, a wig, dark brown, multiple pairs of glasses with non-prescription lenses, disguises, a significant amount of cash in various currencies, notebooks with coded entries, bottles of sleeping pills, more fake identity documents. But the most intriguing find: the notebooks. The entries were written in a code, or rather in a mixture of coded entries and shorthand that investigators couldn't fully decipher. What they could decode seemed to be a travel log. Dates, cities, times, but written in a way that deliberately obscured meaning. One entry, translated, read, "Remember to ask for the 2nd floor." Another, "No calls." These weren't the notes of a tourist. They were operational instructions, tradecraft. The photo evidence. Among her belongings, police found dozens of receipts for passport photos. She had visited photo booths all across Europe: Bergen, Oslo, Paris, Geneva. Why would someone need so many passport photos unless they were creating multiple identity documents? Forensic analysis of her remaining possessions revealed something else. She had been methodically destroying evidence. She'd burned papers, cut labels, filed off serial numbers. Everything about her life had been carefully, deliberately erased. This woman knew how to disappear, and she was very, very good at it. So the question investigators faced was, if she was so skilled at hiding her identity, how did she end up dead in a valley with evidence scattered around her? Chapter 3: The Investigation. Norwegian police launched one of the most intensive investigations in the country's history, and the more they uncovered, the stranger it got. The autopsy. The forensic pathologist who examined the body made several disturbing findings. She had died from a combination of carbon monoxide poisoning and a massive overdose of sleeping pills, barbiturates. The level of drugs in her system was approximately 50 to 70 tablets, enough to kill her several times over. But here's where it gets complicated. The carbon monoxide in her lungs indicated she was still breathing when the fire started. The sleeping pills would have rendered her unconscious, but not necessarily dead. Official cause of death? Probably suicide. But investigators had serious doubts. Here's why. 1. The autopsy pattern was impossible. To burn a body that severely requires sustained, intense heat. But the fire damage was localized primarily to her upper body, face, neck, and chest. Her legs were barely burned. The ground around her showed minimal fire damage. Experts testified that it's virtually impossible for someone to set themselves on fire in this particular way. Where was the accelerant? How did the fire burn so hot without spreading? How did it burn her face and hands so completely while leaving other areas intact? 2. No smoke in the lungs. Despite evidence of carbon monoxide poisoning, there was relatively little smoke damage in her lungs. This suggests she was already unconscious or nearly dead when the fire started. Could she have taken 50+ sleeping pills, remained conscious long enough to start a fire on herself, and then died? Forensic experts said it was highly unlikely. 3. The evidence placement was too perfect. The sleeping pill bottles, the liquor bottle, the passport, all found near the body, arranged almost deliberately. If she was dying from an overdose and burning alive, would she carefully place evidence around herself? Some investigators believed the scene was staged to look like suicide. The international investigation. Police contacted Interpol. They distributed the Isdal Woman's photo, dental records, and description to 14 countries. The results were baffling. Multiple people across Europe reported seeing her. A hotel clerk in Geneva remembered her asking detailed questions about Swiss banks. A shop owner in Paris recalled her buying expensive perfume with cash. A witness in Bergen remembered seeing her with a man, possibly South American or Italian, shortly before her death. But every lead went cold. Nobody knew her real name. Nobody recognized her as a missing person. It was as if she had never officially existed. The man in the zinc ointment boat. One crucial witness came forward. A local shopkeeper in Bergen remembered the woman clearly. She had come in asking about a very specific product, zinc ointment. Why is this important? Zinc ointment protects skin from chemical burns. It's used by people handling dangerous substances or by spies developing photographs in makeshift darkrooms. Another witness reported seeing her near the harbor with a man. They appeared to be arguing. The man was described as dark-haired, possibly Mediterranean, wearing a dark coat. He was never identified. The Cold War context. This is 1970, the height of the Cold War. Norway, despite being a neutral country, was a hotspot for intelligence operations. Its proximity to the Soviet Union made it valuable territory for Western intelligence agencies. Bergen specifically was known to have KGB and CIA operatives. East German Stasi agents operated there. Israeli Mossad had a presence. The Norwegian intelligence service, PST, Politisk Sikkerhetstjeneste, took a keen interest in the case and then, strangely, seemed to shut down the investigation. In December 1970, just weeks after the discovery, the investigation was quietly closed. The official verdict, probable suicide. But investigators on the case disagreed. They believed she had been murdered and that someone with significant power wanted the case buried. Literally buried. The Isdal Woman was interred in a closed zinc coffin in a Bergen cemetery. No name, just a marker as unknown woman. And then the file was sealed. For 40 years, it remained classified. Chapter 4. The Theories. For decades, the Isdal Woman case remained forgotten, a mysterious death filed away in Norwegian police archives. Then, in 2016, a team of Norwegian journalists and the BBC podcast Death in Ice Valley reopened the investigation. They used modern forensic techniques, interviewed witnesses still alive, and dug through declassified documents. What they found reignited the mystery. Here are the main theories. Theory 1. She was a spy. This is the most popular theory, and there's substantial evidence to support it. Evidence: multiple fake identities, classic intelligence tradecraft, coded notebooks, operational security, constant room changes and surveillance awareness, counter-surveillance behavior, interest in zinc ointment, darkroom chemical protection, travel patterns matching known intelligence courier routes, high-quality fake passports, which requires state-level resources. But for which side? Some believe she was working for the KGB, operating in Norway to gather intelligence on NATO installations. Norway, though neutral, allowed NATO exercises. The Soviets wanted to know everything about them. Others think she was Israeli Mossad. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Mossad ran extensive operations across Europe, tracking Nazi war criminals and monitoring Arab states. Her travel pattern matched known Mossad courier routes. A third possibility: she was working for East Germany's Stasi, which had active operations throughout Scandinavia. The problem with this theory: if she was a trained intelligence operative, how did she end up dead in such a sloppy way? Intelligence agencies usually don't burn their agents alive in hiking valleys. They disappear people cleanly, unless she was burned as a message, a warning to other operatives, or to eliminate someone who knew too much. Theory 2. She was fleeing someone. Another theory suggests she wasn't a spy, but someone running from danger. Maybe she was a witness to a crime, possibly organized crime or political assassination. The multiple identities weren't for intelligence work, but for survival. The coded notebooks? Not spy tradecraft, just a way to keep track of her movements without being traced. The careful destruction of her identity. Desperation, not professionalism. In this theory, whoever she was running from caught up with her in Isdal Valley. The murder was staged to look like suicide. Evidence. Witnesses reported seeing her looking nervous, paranoid. She changed hotels constantly, behavior of someone fleeing. The man seen arguing with her near the harbor, possibly a threat. The problem, if she was just running from criminals, how did she obtain multiple high-quality fake passports? That requires resources, connections, and expertise beyond what a civilian refugee would have. Theory 3. She was a corporate spy. A less dramatic but plausible theory. Industrial espionage. In the 1970s, Norway was becoming a major player in oil and energy. The North Sea oil boom was beginning. Companies were engaged in intense competition, and corporate espionage was common. Maybe she wasn't stealing military secrets, but industrial ones. Oil exploration data, drilling technology, geological surveys. Corporate espionage would explain the multiple identities, common in industrial spying, the coded notebooks, protecting proprietary information, the travel patterns, visiting cities with major energy companies, the lack of government interest in solving the case. Business wanted it quiet. Theory 4. Suicide, official version. Norwegian police officially concluded she committed suicide. Here's their reasoning. She was mentally ill, possibly paranoid. The multiple identities were symptoms of a dissociative disorder. The coded notebooks were delusions. She overdosed on sleeping pills and set herself on fire in a psychotic break.
The problems. Forensic experts say the fire pattern is inconsistent with self-immolation. The evidence arrangement seems staged. People with her level of organization and planning rarely die by suicide in such chaotic ways. The sudden closure of the investigation suggests outside pressure. Theory 5. She was assassinated by intelligence services. The darkest theory, she was a spy who was burned, literally, by her own agency or a rival one. In the intelligence world, agents who become liabilities are terminated. If she knew too much, if she was compromised, if she was a double agent, discovered. Burning her face and hands removed identification. Planting the fake passport created confusion. Ruling it suicide closed the case quickly. Norwegian PST's sudden disinterest, they were told to back off by a more powerful intelligence service. New evidence, 2017-2023. Modern isotope analysis of her teeth revealed something crucial. She grew up in Nuremberg, Germany, in the 1930s, 1940s. This places her childhood during the Nazi era. She would have been a teenager during World War II. Did she have Nazi connections? Was she fleeing her past? Was she hunting war criminals? DNA analysis shows she had a rare genetic profile suggesting German-French ancestry. But without a name, without a family match, the DNA leads nowhere. In 2023, the Norwegian government released more files. They confirmed intelligence services were investigating her before her death. The documents are heavily redacted. The most crucial pages are still classified. Why? What are they hiding?
Chapter 5. Where the case stands today. Today, in a cemetery in Bergen, there's a grave marked the Isdal Woman. For decades, it was anonymous, forgotten. But in recent years, something changed. People started leaving flowers, notes, tributes. We haven't forgotten you. May you find peace. Someone remembers. In 2017, Norwegian authorities exhumed her body for new forensic analysis. They hoped DNA and isotope testing could finally identify her. They confirmed. She was born in Germany, probably Nuremberg, around 1930. She was approximately 40 years old when she died. She had given birth to at least one child during her life. But still, no name, no family match in any database. In 2022, a new witness came forward, a now elderly man who claimed to have worked for Norwegian intelligence in 1970. He stated, off the record, that the Isdal Woman was known to PST, that she was under surveillance, that her death was handled to avoid diplomatic complications. He died before he could testify officially. His claims remain unverified. The mystery remains. Who was the Isdal Woman? Was she a spy, a refugee, a criminal, a victim? Why did she need 9 identities? Who burned her body in that valley? Why was the investigation shut down so quickly? And perhaps most haunting, does someone, somewhere, still know her real name? Is there a family who never knew what happened to their daughter, their sister, their mother? 54 years later, the Isdal Woman remains Europe's most mysterious cold case. Her identity, stolen in life, remains stolen in death.
The Isdal Woman's story haunts me because of what it represents. A life so thoroughly erased that even death couldn't restore it. Someone knows who she was. Someone remembers. Maybe it's a government file still classified. Maybe it's an aging intelligence officer taking the secret to their grave. Maybe it's a family member who never knew what happened. But the truth is out there, buried like evidence in a valley. What do you think happened? Was she a spy, betrayed by her agency? A refugee hunted down? An assassin who became the target? Drop your theories in the comments. I read every one. And if this case fascinated you, hit that subscribe button. This is exactly the kind of mystery we dig into every week here at Buried Evidence. Next week, we're covering another case that refused to stay buried. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. Some mysteries may never be solved, but we'll never stop searching for answers.